Arizona maintains some of the strictest DUI laws in the United States for an offender's first DUI conviction. Penalties only increase after a person has committed multiple DUI offenses, eventually having the potential to lead to a felony conviction. Ultimately, the consequences of a second or third DUI conviction will turn on the nature and circumstances of the case. Before driving in Arizona, one should consider the various DUI laws and potential for criminal penalties. In Arizona, a person can be charged with a DUI for driving under the influence of either drugs or alcohol. A major difference between an alcohol-related and drug-related DUI charge is the quantity of the substance in the body that needs to be found while driving in order to constitute a crime. Multiple DUI convictions will be treated more seriously than a single conviction. In Arizona, a person may receive both administrative and criminal penalties for their second DUI. Administrative penalties. The Arizona Department of Transportation Motor Vehicle Division, MVD, is responsible for imposing administrative penalties. The MVD can issue penalties once a person has been arrested and does not have to wait for a criminal charge to be brought. The harshest penalty the MVD can impose is a license suspension. The MVD will impose license suspension for 90 days when a motorist is caught driving while under the influence of drugs or alcohol above the legal limit. Where a person has refused a chemical test, a driver's license can be revoked for up to 2 years. It should be noted that Arizona has an implied consent law. This means that when a person is issued a license, they impliedly consent to any future chemical tests issued by a police officer. Criminal penalties for a second DUI will be more serious this time around, but will depend on the circumstances and require knowledge of DUI classifications. Extreme and super extreme DUI charges. An extreme DUI is a DUI charge where the driver has a BAC of 0.15% or greater. A super extreme DUI is a DUI charge where the offender has a BAC of 0.20% or greater. Aggravated DUI charges. Where a DUI is committed under certain circumstances, the DUI will be considered an aggravated DUI and be charged as a felony. Where a driver has been convicted of 2 prior DUIs within the past 84 months, 7 years, a DUI will be considered aggravated. This applies even where the prior DUI convictions were not committed in Arizona. The criminal penalty for a second DUI, not classified as extreme, super extreme, or aggravated, will be considered a Class 1 misdemeanor and have to serve at least 90 days in jail, 30 of which must be served consecutively. Fines could also be charged up to $2,000. Where the DUI is alcohol and not drug-related, the driver will also have to install an ignition interlock device onto their car for at least 12 months. For a second extreme DUI, convicted drivers will serve at least 120 days in prison, 60 of which must be served consecutively, and pay fines of at least $3,250. Like a second standard DUI, there is also an ignition interlock device requirement. A second super extreme DUI will result in a minimum of 180 days in jail, 90 of which must be served consecutively, and fines of at least $3,750. Here, ignition interlock device will be required to be placed on the offender's vehicle for 18 months. A second aggravated DUI will be charged as Class 4 or 6 felony that could result in 3.75 years in prison. The offender may also face fines up to $4,000 and a 24-month ignition interlock device requirement. Penalties for a third DUI in Arizona. Administrative penalties. Like a second DUI, administrative penalties can be imposed. The penalties are virtually the same, with a potential for long-term license revocation. Criminal penalties. A third DUI within the past 7 years will automatically be charged as a Class 4 or 6 felony. When charged with a third DUI, a person should expect a minimum of 0.5 years to a maximum of 3.75 years in prison. Additional criminal penalties a person may be subject to are fines of at least $4,000, a 3-year revocation of their driver's license, and the installation of an ignition interlock device. The various penalties for a DUI charge in Arizona are highly dependent on the circumstances of the DUI and whether a person has a history of DUI convictions within the past 7 years. This complexity can make DUI charges incredibly difficult to navigate by oneself. If you have been charged with a DUI, whether it be the first, second, or third time, you should immediately contact a criminal law attorney familiar with Arizona DUI laws to help you defend your case. Call the DUI Lawyer criminal law team at 602-900-9891 to get expert-level legal help with your case.